absolutely unbelievable. It's a tie game! Woo! Finally! Go Leafs, go! It's not baseball, but let's see a rally. Let's go Leafs!
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Maple Leafs Media post-game show. As always, I'm your guy, Jake, and today the Leafs pull away with a big overtime win, 3-2. They snap a 4-game losing skid, much-needed win. But before we really get into talking hockey and what we saw on the ice tonight from the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Chicago Blackhawks, I think we should start off this show by talking about what's going on with the Chicago Blackhawks organization right now, with Kyle Beach coming out today telling everybody that he was the John Doe in this story, and just a lot of shady stuff going on with the Chicago Blackhawks organization. Looking back to 2010, the involvement that they had, just like Kyle Beach said, everyone knew what was going on. It's hard not to hear these things in a locker room, what's happening. So I don't think that the NHL's punishment of $2 million to the Chicago Blackhawks is enough for this situation. And honestly, I'm blown away that Joel Quenneville was coaching for the Florida Panthers tonight in an NHL hockey game. But very courageous for Kyle Beach coming out with that story, and it's important for more people to do that in any situation involving something like that. It's good for him to come out like that and tell people what happened. And it's definitely not a good look for the whole organization for Chicago. But let's talk some Maple Leafs Chicago Blackhawks action tonight. 3-2 overtime thriller, and yay, they won. The Leafs won, yay. But I'm having a hard time getting that pumped up about it. Sorry. Getting a hard time getting pumped up about this win. It was a much needed win for the Maple Leafs. This was a pivotal game going up against the Chicago Blackhawks, who their organization's a mess right now. You have Patrick Kane out of this game. Marc-Andre Fleury wasn't in goal for the Blackhawks either. And the Chicago Blackhawks, they hadn't even held a lead through their first 6 games heading into this game. So, yeah, this is a game that the Leafs really needed to win. And I'm not too happy that it was this close of a game. Sloppy win. Sloppy win. It's nice to get back in the win column, one way or another. Diane says, "Hey man, new subscriber, like your stuff. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the subscription. There's gonna be a lot of new content coming out. Post game shows. I got all these post game shows coming out almost every game, as often as I can get to do a post game show. I'm on here, and yeah, it's fun to come on here and talk with other hockey fans. Just no matter what team you're a fan of, it's fun to come on here talk hockey. Surprised they haven't won in overtime. Don't remember the last one they won. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see your players step up in this situation. Honestly, I wasn't very optimistic heading into the third period. This team hasn't really given me many signs or flashes to be optimistic about early in the season still, but today was a start. It was a start. It was a team that the Leafs should have walked over the Chicago Blackhawks tonight, I feel. But it's nice to get the win. It's nice to get the win. You know, Get in the W column. I'm doing good, Astro boy. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Um, I'm doing all right. It's a Leafs win. I'm just. We'll see. I want to see more from this team because you want to know what's concerning. I was looking back at the statistics from every single game this season, and the Maple Leafs power play tonight, it looked better at times, but it really nothing came from it. And you have to capitalize on those opportunities. In the last 7 games, the Maple Leafs power play is 1 for 16. Yeah, we were talking about how we need the power play to be better. We need them to be better than they were last season, and it's been a shaky start this season. Last year, you had an amazing start on the power play. You had the top power play unit through the first month of the season last year, and now it's just a flat line, just like it was uh, basically for the whole second half of last year. That's continued onto this season. And when you have all this great offensive talent, you need to score more on the power play. You need to take advantage of those precious opportunities. A win is a win, no matter how ugly. That's true, Dorky Dave. It's true. It's a win. Nice to get it. And honking antelope reminds us it wasn't just a wing. It was the difference between 2-5-1 or 3-4-1. That seems like a big difference, doesn't it? It really does when you look at those numbers. Two regular, two regulation wins in 8 games won't get them to the playoffs. There you go, John Hines. Keep reminding us that because that's good. That's realistic. I mean, you need to win more games, and you need to do it in regulation, especially if it's against teams that are within your conference tonight. Not within the conference, but longer games also take a bigger toll on you throughout the season. Wilfred says the talent came through and Campbell came through when we needed. Yeah, how about that performance from Jack Campbell? He was outstanding. Jack Campbell is standing on his head out there tonight, making some fantastic saves. Any questions about if his confidence was shot uh, after that 7-1 Pittsburgh loss and then following it up with another loss to Carolina? I think they've been answered. Jack Campbell was fantastic out there. He was amazing. Uh, Matter of fact, he's my first star of the game. My 3 stars of this game, you have Jack Campbell. He was great in net for the Maple Leafs tonight, and one of the main reasons we won this game. William Nylander. He's been solid, best player on the Maple Leafs throughout the first 7 games of the season, 8 games of the year now. And his third goal of the season, OT winner, couldn't come at a bigger moment for him. Alex DeBrincat, Chicago Blackhawks, he scored a goal. He had a couple hits in this game as well. So, 3 stars of the game. Let me know what you think. Who are the 3 stars of this game? Drop them in the comment section below. Mitch Marner in this game had 7 shots on goal. That's a nice sign. I actually thought this was a bit of a better game from Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner has been under the microscope. There's no secret about it. Everybody's pointing their fingers at Mitch Marner, and you can understand why at times. Mitch Marner, 7 shots on goal in this game. You like to see that. You like to see him just fire the puck. More instincts. Don't think about it. Just shoot the puck on net because good things happen when you get that puck on the net. You saw that tonight with David Kampf. He didn't even know he probably didn't know where that shot was going. He just on the backhand went in, and that's a big time moment against his former team. You love to see that. Just that's a spark that ignited everybody, I think. JB says Marner has the most shots on net this year without a goal. Yeah, that's you could look at that stat a couple of ways, I guess. You can look at that with optimism, and you can look at it with a pessimistic view. You can say, "Oh well, shots must not be that good if they're not going in. Or you could say, well, he's getting the shots. He's getting the opportunities to take those shots. So there's a couple ways you can look at that. Getting on net seems to be a bit of a problem. Many wide shots. There were a lot of wide shots and on the power play too, which really that stings seeing those fired wide of the net on the power play. Ja- Joe says Jack and William Nylander can't decide for the third star. So my third star was Alex DeBrincat. You could also go the route of John Tavares or even David Kampf if you want to. But I'm going to stick with Alex DeBrincat because I thought he had a solid game for the Blackhawks. Lemon J says JT is slowly stepping up his game. Yeah, John Tavares is coming into the season after a devastating injury last year. That was a tough sight to see. And when you looked at that injury instantly when it happened, you didn't want to speculate, but you thought that this injury, you probably thought that this injury could have been more serious than it was. And we're happy to see John Tavares back out there on the ice. I think he's been getting better and better progressively throughout the season, but we want to see more. Tonight's a start. We need to see more from this team. Everyone on this team needs to step up, honestly. Eric says we have to hit more like Simmons. Great job um, grinding out a big win. The Leafs had over 30 hits tonight. The Leafs were a physical team tonight. I don't know if you noticed that tonight. There were some big hits early on in the game. Wayne Simmons, early on in that game, Wayne Simmons made a big hit behind the Chicago net on Jonathan Taves, and that got the physicality going for the Maple Leafs. You like to see that. Over 30 hits in the regular season. It's a good step for the Maple Leafs. Adriano says, big step forward for Mitch. It was good to hear him say it's nice to finally smile again. 2 points. And boy, oh boy, those were close to being goals. Still ways to go. The Leafs are getting their opportunities, and that one opportunity, Mitch Marner, that was really unlucky. It just trickled, and it just didn't go in the net there. So, yeah, it's nice to get the win for the Maple Leafs. This is one that this team really needed. Oh boy, if they lost this game, this post game show would be totally different. This would be a totally different vibe in this post game show tonight. Um, yeah, I'd be getting ripped in the comments section right now. So they won tonight, but I do want to mention this as a concern, and I mentioned it last time I did a post game show, and I'm gonna continue mentioning this for as long as this stat is relevant because it's concerning to me that the Toronto Maple Leafs have they've got such a top heavy forward unit and they haven't scored more than 3 goals in a game this season. I know it's only 8 games in, but the offense has got to get clicking. They got to get clicking. Uh, they got some lucky bounces at the end of this game here tonight. They they earned their chances, but they got some lucky bounces and they need to start scoring more than 3 goals a game. That's a concern. I remember last year in the playoffs, Montreal, if you scored 3 goals against Montreal Canadiens, they were toast. And you don't want to be the team that can't score more than 3 goals in a game. The Toronto Maple Leafs shouldn't be that team. Notice how slow some of the Leafs D men were tonight. Got outskated for many pucks. And it wasn't just the defenseman. There was one play that stuck out to me where William Nylander, actually, I felt he should have got back there better. You can criticize players even if they're playing exceptionally well. I felt that he should have made a better defensive play on that particular instance. And then Morgan Riley tonight, I thought that was just an atrocious night from Morgan Riley. He looked like he had bricks in his skates or something. He was not moving very well around at all. It was bad night for Morgan Riley, and yeah, the Leafs defense hasn't been great. Uh, we have issues with Muzzin and Hall. Yeah, Jake Muzzin, that plus minus is really hurting my fantasy hockey team. I made a trade the other day in fantasy hockey. Actually, I want to know what you think. Who won this trade? I'm gonna post in the comment section here. Who won this trade fantasy? So this is a fantasy hockey trade. Let me just type it out. So in this trade, I received Gabriel Landeskog and Muzzin for Kenny Kuznetsov and Ryan Ellis. Who won that trade? I received Gabriel Landeskog and Jake Muzzin for Evgeny Kuznetsov and Ryan Ellis. And keep in mind that hits and penalty minutes and blocks all count in this fantasy hockey league. So, who do you think won that trade? Let me know. Just curious to know your opinion. When Riley made that diving play that led on a breakaway, I thought we lost after that. Yeah, that was a that could have been a disastrous play if Chicago Blackhawks score on that play. I think probably game over at that point. And that was on the power play too. So that would have been a real dagger in the heart. Shorthanded goal, third period. Yeah, not not a good not a good look if that happens for the Leafs. The look on Keefe's face looked like he's defeated and lost the answer. When Frank Rusnell's when I'm not sure when you're talking about. Throughout most of the game. Okay, he answered right before. Throughout most of the game until they tied it up. So let me read your first comment again. The look on Keefe's face looked like he was defeated and lost for answers throughout most of the game until they tied it up. Uh, yeah, I mean he's got to be. I mean, honestly, a lot of people are questioning what's going on with his team, and I'm sure he's just as baffled as most of us. There's obviously a great deal of talent on this team, but it's just hasn't worked to this point, and we'll see. We will see. Big win against Chicago's AHL team. Yeah, Donnie. Thank you. Thank you. Couldn't get it done against Pittsburgh's AHL team though. Chicago looked good against the Leafs. Yeah, they got their first lead of the season too. That's great. That's a great stat. Austin Matthews' shot is not the same. He's coming off of wrist surgery, so I'd give it a bit more time for Austin Matthews' shot to get there. His shot's still one of the best shots in the NHL. I'm not worried about it. Why do you think Marner isn't able to pull the trigger? Um, well, we've seen this for a long time now. He's a pass first player. And before last season, not this year, last season, he said that he wanted to shoot the puck more. He wants to score more goals, and the team needs more goals and more production from him in that way. But that didn't really result to many more goals for Mitch Marner last season, and he's still a pass first player. That's how he is. He's a playmaker. He's not a shoot first kind of guy. Um, he had 7 shots on goal tonight. It's a nice start, but he's uh he's got to shoot the puck more. I think if Marner can shoot the puck more and get some more goals, that'd be nice. That'd really be a boost for the team. But I don't think that Mitch Marner is gonna transition to a shoot first player ever. That's not his game. It's never gonna happen. JB. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. So, um, yeah, how's everyone feeling after this how's everyone feeling after this win here tonight? Uh, if you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button and hit the notification bell to be notified every time new content's being released on Maple Leafs Media. Uh, Post game reactions, post game shows, news updates, interview clips. You know, always got new stuff coming out on Maple Leafs Media. Leafs seem to get their shots blocked. Uh, well, there's some stats being shown up earlier, and the Leafs actually lead the league in shot attempts, which I mean, shot attempts is one thing, I guess, but you need to get those shots on goal, and they do get their shots blocked. They just need to find the better shooting lane in that situation. Donnie says, I don't see them making the playoffs. And Donnie, you know what? I'm not blasting you at all. You know, I before the season started, I I told people, I was like, I'm not even confident that the Leafs will make the playoffs either. I I hope they make the playoffs. I think they'll be in the race for the playoffs up into the end of the season, but I don't know that they will be in the playoffs. I really don't. A lot of people have this team as like a lock for one of the top 3 seeds in the Atlantic Division. I don't think that's the case at all. There's some really tough teams in this division and in the conference as a whole. That Metro division is stacked. You're gonna have to play a lot of games within this tough conference, and the way that the Leafs have started early on, they look like a shell of the team we saw in the regular season last year. Uh, it's just not. It's not been a nice start for the Leafs. They need to be better, and yeah, the playoffs. It's gonna be tough for them to make it in. It's not gonna be easy. I think the Leafs can and should make the playoffs, but I'm not certain that they will. Dave So Dave Snow says, I sure miss Zach Hyman. Yeah, we all miss Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman was such an important piece for this team, and we're seeing how big of a piece Zach Hyman really was. He was a workhorse on that top line beside Matthews and Marner. JB says Detroit could steal the Leafs spot. Detroit is a pretender. Um, Detroit's had a really good start to the season. I don't think they'll make the playoffs this year. I don't think they're going to. I think a team that'd be honestly better equipped to make a run at making a playoff spot. I don't think they'll get in, but I think a team that's going to stay in the race longer is actually the Ottawa Senators. Um, yeah, so Leafs win tonight. It is what it is. I'm not overly thrilled about the victory because I would have liked to see the Leafs dominate this game. The Leafs should have dominated this game against the Chicago Blackhawks. If they're the powerhouse that people think they are, which I don't think they're a powerhouse at all, they should have walked over the Chicago Blackhawks tonight. They didn't do that. They come away with a 3-2 win. It's a nice start. Get them in the win column again. Snap a 4-game losing streak. That's all good. That's all fine and dandy. But I want to see more from this team because I have higher expectations for some reason. I have higher expectations for this team. I don't know why. Leafs still need one more good D man. I think there's a lot of things that this team could use, honestly. Frank Rusty Nails says, I hate to say this, but I don't mind if the Leafs miss the playoffs. Because you would hope the issues plaguing the team will be fixed. You'd hope, right? You'd hope. You'd hope. One would hope that the issues plaguing the team will be fixed, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, we don't have to have that discussion, but I'm sure we'll probably be talking about that again in the offseason, and I mean, we'll see. JB says if Leafs miss the playoffs, the team will be blown up. I think that they have to. In that situation, they'd have to. Some changes would have to happen. Some sort of change would happen. I'm not going to speculate right now on what that changes will be because there's still a big season ahead of us, but we'll see. But I've been on here 25 minutes now. So 3-2 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs over the Chicago Blackhawks tonight. They get back in the win column, and the Maple Leafs will face off against the Detroit Red Wings. Red Wings. They head back to Toronto Saturday night. So yeah, I'll see you then, and go Leafs, go! Hopefully, get another dub and build on some momentum here.